All right, welcome into another off-season edition of Watching. As promised, this is the part 2. This is Tarik Skubal versus the top 10 batters he faced this year by run value. So let's see how he did in the best of the best showdown. This is him, Tarik Skubal, back-to-back Cy Young Award winner. He leveled up this year from the previous year with an even lower ERA and a couple extra innings. So ends up with 31 starts, 13 and 6, 2.21, 195 and a third, 241 strikeouts, and a .89 whip. All numbers slightly better than the previous year where he did have more wins, but overall he was a better pitcher in 2025 to take care of the back-to-back Cy Young. So who are the batters we're going to face today? This is the gauntlet. Now, he didn't face everybody in the top 10, unfortunately, just like Skeens. So we have to start a little bit further down the list, all the way down to number 17, Byron Buxton. He will be number 1 on the list. So let's go see what that date was, and let's get over and start watching. All right, Byron Buxton faced him twice. Looks like the first showdown was on 6/29, and the second one was 8/14. All right, let's head on over and let's do this. Detroit Tigers. Wait, hold on. Minnesota Twins. Detroit Tigers. And the first one was in May. Here we go. Yep, here it is, 6/29. All right, Byron Buxton, 0 for 4. Let's see how it goes. Tarik Skubal, Cy Young Award winner. And this is the first of the 10 batters we will watch. All right, starts him with the changeup. That was his number 1 pitch type this year. And it has been really the level up for him. Once he perfected this changeup pitch, it does everything for him. It keeps you off the fastball. So even if you're going to go ahead and try to be on 99, 98 mile an hour timing, he has a pitch that comes out of a very similar window but ends up at a totally different part of the plate. Typically, for Mr. Skubal here, my pen is a little wonky. He will be down here with the changeup, and then with the fastball, he'll be way up in here. So it's a little bit of a magic trick that he does to kind of get you off the scent. But the changeup is really the key. Not a lot of people have it. Not a lot of power pitchers in the history of game have ever had a changeup quite like Tarik Skubal. All right, so changeup to start this at bat. Here comes that 4-seam. Just misses with it off away. Now, an interesting thing to note about Skubal's 4-seam is the amount of cut it has on it. Negative 1.7 horizontal movement is almost none. And when you're coming on a down, like a little bit of a left to right angle as he does with this pitch, it has a boring in effect on righties. Everything is going to feel like it's coming in this direction to righties, right? So when he throws his fastball away, like he does here, even though he misses, the idea is sort of like a backdoor fastball. Like you want the pitch to start off the plate and kind of come back to the zone, which this ball almost does, but it doesn't quite get there, and now we're at 2-1. So usually with the first batter, we always go through the pitch types that we see so you get a better idea of the movement that we're watching. So the 4-seam fastball has a little perceived cut to it, and then the changeup has extreme opposite fade, but they both start in a similar window, which we'll demonstrate in a little while. All right, here's another fastball on 2-1, another backdoor fastball attempt. And this time he nails it. Very weird foul ball, getting it off the cap. You don't see a lot of that. But another similar shape, and you also see the velocity. Skubal throws hard, man. You know, one of the hardest throwers in the game, full stop, especially for a lefty. And that's a big part of his success. There's no doubt about it. 97.6 right here, and that's not even close to his peak. Weird foul ball, though, off the cap. So changeup, fastball. Somehow he's ahead of that. Everything's been away. Seems like he's screaming out for a changeup. Let's see. Yep, back to the changeup. And it's devastating. When a batter is way ahead of your fastball, like Buxton is here, this is a weird foul ball, but it gave him an easy out here. Fastball away, but you have to understand the type of foul ball you get. To hit a foul ball in that direction off the end of the bat, you have to be early. You have to be coming through it, and then you just skim it barely for it to head that direction. So if you're going to be early on a fastball away, well, then you're definitely going to be early on changeup away. So here's that fastball again, and then watch how Skubal screws him up with this changeup here in the same location. Yep, no chance of slowing yourself down after you're already that sped up. So that's the first at-bat, and it's a nice strikeout. Change up, fastball, changeup. All right, second at-bat. He's going to start him with a slider to lead off the 4th inning here. Buxton tries to ambush and almost clips him here. Just misses this. 102.3. Now, why would you swing at first pitch versus Skubal? Well, 2 strikes is pretty much, you're pretty much half in the grave at that point if you even get to 2 strikes. So the idea is, well, he's got to get ahead of me. He throws strikes. He's got incredible walk rate. Let's go ahead and try to ambush. Let's pick a pitch and let's go for it. Also, he's throwing slider here first pitch because it's not really what he wants to get him out with, and he's trying to steal a strike. Skubal doesn't expect a swing on a first pitch slider, so it's actually kind of the right pitch to swing at. It's not the pitch he wants to get you out with. He's throwing it right over the plate. Buxton's a great slider hitter, left on right. So he just misses it, hits it a little bit too high, and you can see Skubal's reaction here, like, wow, you almost clipped me. Like, oh, you're looking for that, huh? So a little gamesmanship here, as you can see, but this was what really screwed him up. He hit it hard enough, but just hit it too high. Cut it just underneath it, just a hair. But I like the approach by Buxton. He says, you know what, I'm not waiting around. I know what 2 strikes looks like against this fella, and I'm going to swing. And he almost gets him. So 2 at-bats, we got a strikeout, and then an ambush attempt, which was a good punch back by Buxton, even though he doesn't get anything for it. All right, 3rd at-bat. Now he's going to start him with that changeup again. Not risking getting ambushed again, and goes immediate swing and miss. Let's get a better view of that. Yeah, I mean, it feels to me like Buxton is such a rotational hitter. He's very tall in his stance. He doesn't have a ton of reach to his game. Seems to me living down and away, especially with changeups, is probably going to work 99 times out of 100 versus this guy. So I would expect him to kind of double up there. So swing and miss on the first changeup. Interestingly, no, he's going in with the fastball. Oof, bad pitch, very bad pitch, but gets away with it. So he actually gets away with 2 in this outing. Versus Buxton. Very surprising. This ball is meant to be up and in, which personally I think is dangerous and I think is unnecessary. I think, honestly, with the way Bucks swings and the way see how tall he is in his stance, very vertical. I don't think he can reach anything over here. I also think he's so quick with his rotation that if he's on anything but changeup timing, he's going to be out in front of a changeup. That's what we saw on pitch 1 right here. You see how far out in front of the changeup he is here. I would have stuck with it. Skubal says, what do you know, Ottavino? I'm going fastball. I trust my fastball. The only issue is he throws it right down the middle. So as much as I'd like to give him credit for getting him out here, I'm not going to give him any credit. I'm going to say he got a little lucky here, to be honest with you. A little pop-up, and it's all good. And you know what? What's funny about that is I think Skubal knows he got a little lucky on this one. Ooh, he gave a little face because he knew he put that ball right down the middle. Pitchers know when they miss their location. And there's even a little more gamesmanship here too, I think. Well, not gamesmanship, but just 2 guys having a good time. Skubal's, it's all fun and games when the balls don't leave the yard, and you know you just got away with 2 pitches in the same game to Buxton. All right, so these guys are going to match up again later in the season, and let's head over there now. All right, here we go. Twins, Tigers, and this is the second one. 8-14, Buxton going 1 for 5 in this one. All right, Skubal first at bat this time. 1 out, nobody on, starting him with that fastball in. Now, he didn't do that the entire first game. He did try to throw 1 pitch in this location. You see the target up in. This is his typical 4-seam target because I mentioned he has that perceived cut to it, although this one not as much. This ball is going to feel very fast. It's going to be hard to hit on location alone and speed alone. But on top of that, you get that boring action, this feeling in on the hitter. And you see Buxton has to get tight with his hands. He can't quite get to it. Now, this isn't a location I would stay in with Byron Buxton. He's incredibly efficient with his rotation. He's really good at pulling his hands in. He loves to hit pull-side fly balls. He's quick on fastballs. So to me, this is not a place to stay, but this is how he leads off the at-bat, and it's perfect execution to get to 0-1. All right, speeds him up. I would expect him to go right away with the changeup. Let's see. Ooh, the very rarely thrown knuckle curve. Looking for a little backdoor knuckle curve. This is a distant 4th pitch for Tarik. It's not a bad pitch, but it's not really what he tries to get you out with. And really, he's trying to backdoor this for a strike. But it's also part of the reason why it's not one of his better pitches is because it's not one of his best command pitches. And right on cue, he misses down for a 1-1. I'm sensing a changeup. Yep, changeup coming. Another perfection changeup. So I mentioned how this pitch tunnels very well with his four seam. It's hard to illustrate without an overlay here, but basically, when these balls come out of the hand, the four seam is going to trend where he wants to this inside corner, whereas the changeup, let me switch colors on the changeup, we'll go green. The changeup's going to kind of just peter out to here. And so even though they're on opposite sides of the plate, the initial approach out of the hand is awfully similar, and that's what sells it so well. And as I mentioned, if you're going to try to speed up to hit the fastball in, you've got no shot at this changeup away. And honestly, Buxton's had no shot on any changeup, so if I'm him, I'm staying right there with this as we get to this 1-2 count. Let's see what he does. Nope, goes back to the four seam. This time it's an up middle target. Not a perfect pitch again, but definitely up enough, and Buxton's under that thing. He is very scoopy with the swing at times. And really, that's the third time now that he's gotten a decent pitch to hit. Granted, Skubal's dictated all these at-bats, but he's gotten decent pitches to hit late in the at-bats, and he's just missed a few of them. How hard he hit this one? 98-1 at 46. That's just missing it, you know? Gets it a little more in the sweet spot, a little more leveled out, and that's a damaged swing. So anyway, gets away with him a little bit. I still think he's wide open for more and more changeups. Let's see if Skubal keeps sticking with the approach he's going, and it's working, but he's getting away with it a little bit. All right, third inning situation, man on second, one out. Going to the changeup. It's another swing and miss. It's not just that they're going to miss it when it's in the zone. It's also that he can't lay off of it out of the zone. You don't want to swing at this 0-0. But in this situation as a pitcher, you know you have a man in scoring position. You know you have to be smart here. And you'd go first pitch changeup for Chase. It's just a great pitch choice, and it works out great because he gets a swing out of the zone for 0-1. All right, now to a sinker. This is the only pitch type we haven't seen yet. And the idea with the sinker is that it's not going to have that perceived cut like his four seam. See, this one's got -13, so it's got a healthy amount of run back to his arm side, meaning going this direction. That's a terrible arrow, but this direction. So when they set up here, they set up off the plate, and they want to run the ball back into here, which is kind of what this pitch does. Let's see. It's actually a happy accident because it does run back, but it stays above the zone. If this ball runs back in here, probably crushable, but instead it's above the zone, and he gets the swing and miss for 0-2. So changeup chase, fastball chase, 0-2 count. Great spot to be in. Here comes another changeup. This time he spits on it. And now he's going to say, I don't think you can spit on it again if I get a little bit closer. And he's totally right. He does. And this time Buxton goes ahead and reaches out and hits it. So maybe the changeup a little overexposed in this at bat. But honestly, I give a lot of people credit here. This is a good pitch. He gets him out front. It's not like he hits this ball very well. You know, only 74.7. It just happens to go through the hole. So from Skubal's perspective, you did everything right. Maybe you like to execute it a hair lower. But also, real credit to Buxton for actually going out and diving and not hitting this ball on the ground. He gets it just enough in the air to make it a tough play. It's a quasi-line drive, and it gets through into left field for a hit. So good job by Buxton. I actually don't mind the pitch choice by Skubal, but you can see Buck is like, man, I feel like I've been on this dude, and I finally got a hit as he's giving a little freight train action to the dugout there. All right, so 1 for 2 as we head into at-bat number 3 in our final showdown of these guys on this season. All right, going to start him with the four seam in here. Just misses. Nobody on situation, so he's going to go right at him. Another four seam in. Misses again. 2-0. Buxton in the driver's seat. And then he just goes perfect changeup. I mean, you think you're in the driver's seat, but he's still got this pitch, this dead fish, always ready to rock. Look at this. Strike, 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 ball. It's almost like it's magnetically opposed to the bat. Like it gets close to the bat and says, nah. That's filth. All right, throw it again, right? Nope, fastball. Another middle fastball. So this kind of illustrates a little bit of the Skubal conundrum, right? It's mostly fastballs and changeups. It's mostly two pitches that tunnel really well. He does throw a couple wrinkles in there, slider, knuckle curve, you know, sinker at times, but for the most part, it's two pitches that are really hard to hit. A fastball with funky movement, with great deception from a lefty. I mean, you can see the delivery we'll just watch the delivery real quick as I talk about this. So rock and roll, a lot of moving parts going on, good tempo. Every pitch looks the same from the side, but they are wildly different in their late action at the plate, and therefore he doesn't have to be perfect with everything. When you have elite stuff and you have great tempo and you have pitches that contrast well with each other, you don't have to be perfect. You can attack the zone. In the at-bats we watched versus Buxton, he probably gave him 4 or 5 pitches to hit, and really, he didn't do anything with the pitches he got to hit. What he did was he survived in that one at-bat with that dive changeup. So Skubal's a victor for sure in that matchup, but Buxton had some pitches to hit, so we'll see if that's the case with some of these other guys as we keep moving along. All right, next batter up on the gauntlet is Mr. Rafael Devers, who was number 16 this year on the leaderboard. Let's find Rafi and when this game might have taken place. There it is on 5/14 when he was still a Red Sox. All right, Boston Red Sox and Detroit Tigers. There it is, Skubal. All right, this is a tough matchup left on left. Let's see how it goes. Rafael Devers, Tarik Skubal. Going to start him with a sinker. Just try to go middle away with it. So what you're doing here with this sinker target is catcher's dingler here. The catcher is set up on the outside corner. So the idea is you drill it right at him, and the natural run of this pitch is going to bring it somewhere in this zone. That's not quite what ends up happening, obviously, as he just barely misses here, but that's generally the idea and why the setup was where it was. This is just an attempt to pour a sinker in the strike zone. Doesn't quite get it, and it's 1-0. All right, now to the four seam. So sticking with a fastball, but changing shape. And you can see Rafi a little bit confused at how he misses this. This is a missed location. Ball's supposed to be away. It's middle in. And yet he is under it, late and under it. And if we watch Rafi here with the reaction, something about the shape of the pitch is confusing to him. So I think a little bit of that is that sinker four-seam contrast. I mentioned the four-seam has natural cut. The sinker has arm side run. They're both the same speed, so they're really hard to read, especially the first 2 times you see them. And Rafi definitely thought he was swinging out a sinker there and he was swinging out a four-seam, so he had to do a little double take looking at the board, like, what did I just swing at? All right, fastball, here comes the changeup. I mean, perfectly placed on the corner. So coming off of that last fastball, you see a pitch trending towards the down and away part of the zone. If it's a four-seam fastball like the one you just saw, it's inevitably going to end up off the plate away. But that's not what it is. It's a changeup, and it just fades right back to the zone just enough. Tremendous catch by Dingler, and we are at 1-2. So four-seam away, no, sinker away ball, four-seam in, swing and miss, changeup down and away dotted. All right, you're in a tough spot. Okay, 1-2 count. Now he's going to uptick to 99.5 on the four-seam. Ooh, a surprisingly great take by Rafi. So the book on Devers over the years is there's no set one way to get him out, but if he's in his normal approach, he is usually he can usually be exposed by high fastballs with good velocity and good rides. So that's the attempt here. They try to go up to 100 miles an hour, basically at the top of the zone, to blow his doors off, and kind of an emergency, I'm scared to swing take gets him to 2-2. So let's see how he goes here from 2-2. All right, now he's going to go to the slider. Now this is more of a typical left-on-left approach. I'm going to start you hard, and then I'm going to try to get you to chase the slider left-on-left. The only issue is he hangs it right down the middle, and Rafi is that good of a hitter. Tremendous breaking ball hitter. Skubal had him where he wanted him in this at-bat, had him all set up for that high fastball, didn't execute, and really the swing decision by Devers on the 1-2 pitch bought him another pitch, and guess what? He got a good pitch to hit, and he lasers it 110 at 12. So credit to Devers here. Pretty poor execution on the 2-strike pitch by Skubal. I mentioned his command in the zone comes and goes at times, but he is always in the zone. And here he makes the mistake of being more in the zone than out of the zone, which happens. So good credit to Devers all over that slider. Line drive into right, so he gets a hit. Left on left. Nice job. All right, second at bat with these two. This time he's going to start him with the sinker at 100. Off the plate away. So same approach as the first one. Ooh, this time Rafi swings. Let's see. I don't know if he did. Wait. Extremely debatable swing. Very close, but I'm not the umpire. There's an actual umpire in this game, and he called it a strike, so it's a strike. All right, 0-1 count. Now we're going to go sinker. So they go away, and now they go in to kind of jam them, and they get a nice, easy contact out. This was a good approach. I think this is ultimately what you want Rafi to swing at left on left. He probably doesn't face a ton of electric left on left sinkers, especially at this type of velocity. I mean, 99 miles an hour is just ridiculous. And the idea here is, you know, it's just going to chew him up, and that's what happens. Jams him a little bit. How hard he hit that? 94-1 on 2 hops, and it's a nice, easy ground out. So 1 for 2, and then third at bat, he's going to undress him on 3 pitches. Let's see how he does it. Starts him with that sinker again. 3 at-bats in a row sinker, and you see Rafi was anticipating it. That was a healthy hack. He just misses it. Wow, good pitch to hit. But Rafi not on the fastball because he completely misses a down-in-the-zone cookie. He is definitely surprised. I love watching Rafi's body language at the plate. All right. Coming back with another one, this time steer it a little bit more inside. Love this pitch call right here. So this was really smart. So now you have him in swing mode. You know he's committed to try to beat you to the spot on a sinker. You also saw how the sinker in worked the previous at-bat. So here, they go ahead and they move Dingler over to the inside part of the plate, and they want to run something all up in here on the hands. That's exactly what they do. And he gets the foul ball for 0-2. Now, typically he'd be all set up for slider away, but he's also probably set up to go further in or fastball up, or they could probably go change up below the zone. That's how many options he has here. I'm curious how he goes about it. Let's see. Ooh, fastball up. And there it is. Perfect pitch for the strikeout. Also, sinker, 4-seam is a pretty dramatic shape difference to cover at 100 miles an hour, and he executed that one perfectly. I mean, he just got him aware in, and then he goes ahead and he throws a pitch that's moving away from him, up and away at 100. And all you can do is just kind of wave at it. So that's Skubal when he's at his best. He'll just bully you, and that's what he does to Devers there. So Devers, honestly, 1 for 3. Thought overall it was pretty good. I think he swung a little too big at a couple of the other good pitches he got to hit. But, yeah, I thought that was a pretty good battle. All right, who is next after Mr. Devers on the gauntlet? We have to go all the way past Michael Busch, Marte, Olsen, Alonso, Acuna to Jose Ramirez. Now, these guys faced each other a ton. So this is going to be fun to watch. All right, their first matchup of the year was on 5/25. Okay. So this is the Cleveland Guardians and the Detroit Tigers. And I believe there's 3 different starts of Skubal versus these guys this year. So we're going to get some good action here versus Ramirez. All right, Jose Ramirez in the first inning. He's going to swing at the first pitch. So he's got a similar approach of what some of these other guys have been thinking, like Buxton. You know, this guy's all up in the strike zone. I mean, there's 2 outs, nobody on here in the first. He's thinking, if you're ever going to get a fastball in the zone, this is it. Unfortunately, he does nothing with it, and it's a 1-pitch out. So this is worst-case scenario for a hitter. A 1-pitch out, and you don't gain any more information for your next couple at-bats, but it's a beautiful thing for Skubal. Just pours it in there. Misses his location. Frankly, he wanted that ball up and in. Ends up getting it down and gets the pop-up anyway. All right, on to the next at-bat. Starting with a 4-seam again. Another 2 outs, nobody on scenario. That is best-case scenario for facing Jose Ramirez as well, by the way. You never want to face this guy leading off an inning or with guys on base. Miserable. 2 outs, nobody on. Perfect. All right, so now he does get that 4-seam to the perfect location. This is where he was trying to go first at-bat. Second at-bat, he dots it. 98 up and in. Beautiful. And now sinker off of that. Another in target. Surprising. And honestly, not a good pitch. It works out again because look at this graveyard that he plays in. 99.9 at 33. Jose knows that he hit that ball pretty well. And why do I think this was a bad pitch? Well, I just don't understand the need to throw a front door freeze type of choice here with only 1 strike. You just threw a 4-seam dotted up and in. That ball had that movement that's going this way, right? Now you go to the sinker here, and the movement's going the other direction. So if you go to the same location, which let's see where the target is. The target is now in the middle. If you go to the same location, you're going to end up right in the heart of the plate, which is kind of where this ball ends up. pretty much in the heart of the plate, middle in. That's what Jose Ramirez wants. He's on fastball timing now. Gets away with it, and that's what great stuff does. So 0 for 2, 2 pop-ups, and he's going to get him again in the 7th inning. And yet another fastball. So all heaters so far in this matchup today. Another perfect heater up in. So this is exact same scenario as before. First pitch, 4-seam, dotted up and in. Let's see if he comes back with the sinker, or if he goes to changeup, or what the approach is here. Changeup. I was waiting for the changeup. Ooh, great swing by Ramirez. I think he just pulls this changeup a little bit too much into the middle of the plate, horizontal-wise. Yeah. It ends up kind of middle down in. I think in a perfect world, he would like this ball to be over here. Jose Ramirez, as I've noted many times before, he's a dead pull hitter. He's probably the best dead pull hitter in the big leagues. He'll pull outside pitches with great effectiveness. So the idea is to keep the ball away from him and make it hard on him to pull. Instead, he pulls this ball, Skubal, I should say, pulls this ball into his hitting area. And credit to Ramirez, he smashes it into right. So I thought he had good approach. Mishit 2 balls and then nails a ball there. So 1 for 3. I think Ramirez did a great job in that showdown. So let's see their next one, which is going to be on 7-6. All right, first at bat, starting them with that 4-seam. This time they're going away with it. That's a different location before, and he nails it. Interesting, though. Let's see Jose Ramirez. All right, check the feet here. When he lands his front foot, they are not even. That is an open foot. This foot is pulled over here like he's expecting the ball middle in. And why wouldn't he be expecting the ball middle in? That's where Skubal started him every at-bat. The first matchup. Instead, you see the target, they go away, and he ends up throwing a backdoor 98-mile-an-hour 4-seam for strike 1. So beautiful pitch call, and they jump ahead 0-1. And now they're going to go to that sinker front door again, which is a little bit of an interesting pitch choice. I love freezing guys. This is one of my favorite things to do as a pitcher. I believe in it a lot. I just don't like to do it a lot in the mid-count. Feel like if you make a mistake in the mid-count and the guy's in swing mode, he still has a swing going, you could miss down the middle fairly easy in this scenario. Anyway, this is what they try to do, and they end up just scaring him a little bit. If anything, it definitely keeps him from diving. So now changeup might play, but 1-1 count, and now they go to the changeup. So that's what they're thinking. Good take, just pushes it outside. Now they're going to double up because that's definitely the right pitch call. Pushes it again. So a very rare back-to-back poor execution on changeups by Skubal. You won't see that very often. Now we're at 3-1, and he's got to challenge him with a fastball. First inning, 2 outs, nobody on. Got to go for it. Everybody knew it was coming. Skubal knew. Ramirez knew. And he just out-executes him here. This ball's dotted 99 on the inner third. Ramirez is ready to rock and roll. He just can't quite get the barrel to it. He gets jammed just a touch. And so that's the beauty of a well-executed fastball at the right moment. You get a soft contact out. So that's the first at-bat. Here's the second at-bat. Now he's going to start him with the front door sinker. Jose's still trying to beat him to the spot in there. So he started him with fastball, like 5 straight at-bats now, all to the inner third except for that one. So Jose's still thinking about ambushing. Doesn't quite get it there because Tarik has super executed. Then they go 4-seam to try to break his bat. Misses up with it. 1-1. Changeup should be coming. Yep. And he gets him to swing over. This is beautiful. I mean, really, his pitching style, like his sequences, are very easy to read for me at home. When he locates into a righty and gets him in any type of swing action, changeup's wide open. When he gets take action, he'll understand that the freeze is there. It's pretty simple. Changeup again, fouled off, and changeup again. So this time he speeds him up, and then he goes triple changeups for the punch out. Jose tried to hang tight here. Let's look at it from center field. But he just out-executes him. I'm curious what this swing looks like, because Ramirez doesn't think he swung. Yeah, I got that being pretty close. Not surprised he got rung up with how far in front of the body is. Doesn't look like the wrists really roll over, but Anyway, great execution, triple changeup. He definitely has Jose thinking about hitting the fastball, and he uses that to his advantage for the strikeout there. All right, third at bat. Now he's going to go the other direction, starting with the changeup. Good idea. Too many fastballs, I believe. Eventually Ramirez is going to whack one of those. I love that he went to the changeup here for a strike. It's also a 0-0 game, so you got to be careful here. All right, first pitch changeup strike. Second pitch changeup. Ooh, good pitch to hit. And he's under it and pops it up. That a funky movement on it? Yeah, a little bit. 8 vert, so didn't really have much drop. And you can see Jose's back is one of his hands comes off the bat here. Just not a very good rep of a swing here from Ramirez. And it happens. All right, so that's the end of this one. Skubal handles him pretty well in matchup number 2. And let's see what matchup number 3 is going to look like as they faced each other again a couple more times. All right, 9-18 and 9-23. All right. All right, here we go. Another 3 at-bats with these two again. All right, man on first, 1 out in the first, starting him with the changeup now. So early on in these matchups this season, a lot of challenge fastballs early, especially to the inner half. And now we shifted more into a changeup mode. All right, 2-0 slider. This is similar to that ball Buxton swung at. Ramirez swings at it, loses his whole bat. I mentioned this 2-0 get me over slider is a very dangerous pitch if a hitter were to look for it. They probably aren't going to look for it much, but this is one of the best pitches that you're ever going to get to hit off of Skubal. And just misses it, fouls it off, 2-1. Here comes the fastball in now. Misses with it away, 3-1. And now 3-1 changeup, not giving in here. And Ramirez crushes that ball. And I don't know, a lot happened on this play, but it is going to be a hit. All right, first of all, how hard does he hit this? 96.8 right down the line. Could have easily been a double. The location on the changeup is middle. That's the mistake. You got to give credit to the third baseman for getting on that, but Ramirez running hard and gets a hit. So weird play there for their first matchup. And here is the second one. Starting with a first pitch slider. Ooh, good pitch to swing at. Good swing. You don't see him driving the ball oppo too often. That was a great swing. 98-1, but a line out. So one pitch line out, but I like the approach. And then the third at-bat of this game. Now he's going to start him with the knuckle curve. Ooh, I love that. Drops it in. That's why you have these pitches, because when you face a guy over and over and over again, and you know and he knows that you want to get him out with fastballs and changeups, to have a pitch 2 speeds down like a knuckle curve that you just can't swing at if you're looking for a fastball is a nice weapon to have. He hasn't shown any of his best pitches yet in this at-bat, and yet he's ahead 0-1. All right, changeup off of that. Great pitch, great take. And now sinker up in. This is another dangerous mid-count front door sinker. I know he's winning the Cy Young. He certainly knows way more than me about his own game, but I'm surprised at some of these, and I feel like he's gotten away with a few of these pitches, these mid-count 1-1 comeback sinkers that he keeps missing over the middle with. I mean, this is a good pitch to hit. Ramirez just misses it, likely because it's 99-4. But I'm going to say he got away with one there again. All right, that was it for this matchup. And there is one more on 9-23. All right, first at bat's going to be a 4-pitch walk. So man on first. This was a huge game, by the way, at this point in the season. These two teams were fighting each other hard for the division. So changeup ball, curveball, ball. This is with a man on first and 1 out, so he's being smart here, but he just pushes a few pitches and gets into a bad spot, 3-0. And walk. So a rare Jose Ramirez walk, but, you know, they've also, Skubal understands, Jose's seen him much more than everybody else, so he's got to be smart when he falls behind. All right, here we go, second at bat. First pitch curveball. Ooh, swinging at it, pulling it foul. Another reason why this pitch is good is because even when you do swing at it, you're likely to be early, and that's what happens. Here's another one of those mid-count sinkers. This one's actually perfectly located, though. I mean, you can't throw a pitch better located up and in with comeback action. Look at how off the barrel this is too. I mean, he's getting it all over the label here, just sawing him off. So curveball, and then jams him with the sinker 0-2. Changeup feels likely pretty soon. Yep. Good take, good take. Gonna try it again. Unbelievable foul ball. No idea how he did that. And now fastball ends the pitch. Yep, they see it. And just destroys his bat. Ground ball to short. So why do I say fastball in was the pitch there? I mean, look, if you're going to be able to dive and foul off a changeup the way Jose Ramirez does here, where your whole energy goes across the plate, like to get to here, there's no way you're going to be able to then stand up and beat me to the spot with a fastball here, much less if it's 99. So Skubal and Dingler read that. This foul ball gave them all the information they needed. They come back with the fastball. And as I mentioned, Jose Ramirez is a great fastball hitter, but just from a timing perspective, there's no way you're going to be able to get the barrel to both of these pitches. Back to back. And once again, all over the label, just destroys it. 69.6 miles an hour for the ground out. Too short. All right, one more at bat. So a walk, a ground out, and he's going to get a hit here. So I actually think Ramirez has had really good at bats. Skubal's such a tough matchup, but I think he's had great at bats. So there's that first pitch sinker. Come back for a strike. This was a huge spot, by the way. Second and third, no outs. So this pitch choice is the I want to start something as a ball and run it over the plate for a strike, and I hope you'll take it. And he does. Strike one. All right, curveball coming. Pulls him way out in front for the 0-2. So now using the speed differential game to his advantage, something he didn't do. Probably for the first 7-8 at-bats versus Ramirez this season, but now it's coming into play here. So 0-2 count, fastball in, curveball down, has him in swing mode. I would expect a fastball up or a changeup away. Either way, probably a ball. They're going to go four-seam up. Let's see. Ooh, gets in. There's that little chopper. This was the inning from hell, if I remember correctly, as Jose Ramirez survives this pitch just enough to get an infield hit. So I actually think this was a pretty good pitch. Obviously, he'd like it a little higher. You see the initial target. Perfect world, you want swing and miss. You want this ball up here. Where does it actually end up? In here, but it does jam the crap out of him. So he's been jamming him, but Ramirez is putting the ball in play. This time he is rewarded for that. So ultimately, Ramirez is the victor in this game. 1 for 2 with a walk. Also probably 2 broken bats. So it shows you that some pieces of wood had to die heroes. But this was a hell of a matchup over the course of the year. They even matched up more in the postseason, which we're not going to watch. But, you know, try to establish that fastball early with Ramirez. Went to the changeups for a while. That was very effective. And then try to really mix it up. Lots of curveballs and just try to stick and move through the last few at-bats. But that's 2 heavyweights going at it. That was pretty good. All right, who is next on our list? After Jose Ramirez comes Mr. Vlad Jr. All right. When did they face each other? Let's see. That was on 7/26. All right. All right, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. versus Tarik Skubal. Going to start him with a changeup. So a 2 outs, nobody on situation. Full take all the way here. Like, he wasn't swinging no matter what's coming based off body language. And Skubal misses with the changeup. Now he's going to come back with the sinker at 99.5. Now, I think part of the reason why you go sinker to Vlad at times is because he has an incredibly high ground ball rate. As great a hitter as he is, you keep him on the ground, you keep him in the ballpark, good place to be, not a very fast runner. You can live with almost any ground ball outcome, even if it's a hit. So sinker makes sense here. Comes back with it. He was taken all the way, and it's a 1-1 count. And now we go back to the changeup. Not a well-located changeup, but does get him out front and off the end, and it's a weak little pop-up. 86-1, caught by Gleyber Torres. And that is the end of the first at-bat. All right, second at-bat. So changeup, fastball, changeup. Now he's going to start him with the knuckle curve here. This is the approach that he used with Jose Ramirez late in the season. And he does it here again to Vlad, just stealing a strike with this knuckle curve and getting himself to 0-1. All right, off 0-1. He's going to go sinker. Here's that another mid-count sinker attempt. But this time he executes it. I mean, I don't know how he didn't get the call there. This is a perfect pitch. Somehow it's a ball, and you have to live with bad calls, but 1-1 count, and now probably back to the changeup. Nope, sinker again. So they're going to try that again. I don't like this pitch call again. I keep mentioning it. And a hell of a job by Vlad. Back-to-back fastballs. It doesn't have that perceived cut to it or the lift on it because it's a sinker, so he's able to stay through it and kind of muscle this ball off of him for an oppo hit. This is just a great swing. Huge credit to Vlad here. It shows you the all-around hitter he is. Also, you can't throw 2 pitches in the same place back-to-back to Vlad Jr. He's too good. That's just a great swing. Great swing. It's the problem with the best of the best. Sometimes you make a great pitch, but you get beat by an even better swing. My God. All right, third at bat, it's going to be a walk. So Vlad has a good showing in this matchup. Gets him out that first time, but then comes up with a single, and then here in a big spot in the 6th in a 0-0 game, he's going to go ahead and grind out a walk. There's a knuckle curve for a take. 1-1. Here's the changeup. Below the zone ball. Changeup coming again. Below the zone ball again. Really good takes here by Vlad. Ooh, big hack on the 3-1 slider. Again, this is the pitch guys want to hit. You don't know when it's coming, but when it comes, man, the eyes get awfully big. Just misses it, 3-2, and then he's going to lose him on this fastball. So that's it for Vlad. Good at bat. I thought Vlad showed very well against Skubal. He matches up well versus him, to be honest. That was very, very nice. All right, so that's it for Vlad Jr. Next on the list will be Mr. Nick Kurtz. Mr. Nick Kurtz. Which this was an interesting matchup that showed up late in the season on 6/24. All right, 6/24. We need the A's and the Tigers on 6/24. All right, Nick Kurtz, who was an absolute phenom for the A's this year. Young Jim Thome, and this is probably the toughest matchup he'll get all year. Left on left, double Cy Young Award winner Tarik Skubal. So first pitch, 99 down and away, dotted. Second pitch, changeup here. Also, probably an angry Skubal because he just gave up 2 runs here in the first. So 4-seam away, changeup in. Now 4-seam up in. Misses for a ball, and he's going to try to finish him off with that changeup. Left-on-left changeups are just mean, especially when they get him away here. Yep, gets him to come out and around that ball and rolls it over to Torkelson for an easy 70.8 mile-an-hour ground out. Let's watch that pitch again. Kurtz is one of the best in the game at going the other way, but the changeup gets him out front into the rollover, which is great contact versus a hitter that good. All right, nice pitch there. And now on to the second at-bat. Going to start him with the slider. Nice get-me-over slider. Now to the 4-seam. Staying away on Kurtz for the most part with 4-seamers. Gets him to chase off the plate away. Very nice. Changeup away coming now. Too low. Changeup again. Really good take. All right, 4-seam up away. Misses, and now we're at 3-2. So good job getting back from 0-2 to 3-2. And now Skubal's got to locate a fastball, which he does and beats him. And another hitter that's looking up very perplexed at how they missed a fastball of Skubal. Again, I think it's a combination of the angle, the velocity, the weird movement, and the deception that makes this pitch truly as good as it is. And Nick Kurtz gets his doors blown off. Skubal not happy with the execution of that at-bat. Still ends up with another strikeout. All right. Next at-bat. Big spot here. First and second, 2 outs. Skubal's not having a great start. Looking to empty the tank here and get himself through this inning. All right, so slider away, ball 1. Ooh, challenge heater fouled back. And Kurtz just not on this fastball shape for whatever reason. Another one down, 2-1. All right, he's got to go with something else here, and he does with the changeup. And he throws a dandy at the bottom of the zone. I actually kind of like this swing decision by Kurtz. I mean, he's gone. He's looking for fastball timing, so there's no way you're hitting this pitch. It's almost better to just let it happen. Unfortunately for him, it was perfect pitch at the bottom of the zone. And now we're at 2-2. Here comes a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Really good take. And we're back to 3-2. And we're back to changeup. Oof. Kurtz hates it. It is a strike. And it's just kind of an unfair pitch because it's not what Skubal's trying to do. And I don't think he really had it. Just watch this game. It's probably one of his worst starts of the season. But this is at the very top, and it just kind of nestles into the top of the zone. And so Skubal's the victor here with 2 punch-outs. And he kind of dominates Kurtz despite not really having his best stuff or command on the day. So that's it. 0 for 3. Really, really tough matchup. Really, really tough matchup left on left. There's no way around that. I thought he had faced the A's again, but I guess Kurtz didn't play in that other game. So that's it for Kurtz. And we are on to our next man in our gauntlet, which is Mr. Cal Raleigh. So Cal Raleigh, when did we face you? 4-02 early in the year. And then again on 7-11, so twice. All right, Seattle and Detroit. All right, here it is. Cal Raleigh, first at bat. Going to start him with the changeup. This is just 2 guys who at the very beginning of the year did not know what seasons they were going to have. Skubal going on for a back-to-back Cy Young, Cal Raleigh with a 60 home run season. So this was a heck of a matchup early on when we didn't really know what we were watching. First pitch changeup, goes for the ambush, completely out in front of it. Now he's going to come back with the fastball. Middle in. Beats him. Stays through it, though. Muscles it over the infield. And Cal Raleigh's 1 for 1. So, beautiful swing there. Advantage Raleigh. Not really a lot to break down there. It was a 2-pitch at-bat, but a good swing. And Raleigh's on. All right, second at-bat. 2 guys on, 2 outs here. So, Raleigh swung at all 3 pitches he's seen so far. There's a fastball, and he's just beat. You don't beat Cal Raleigh with a lot of fastballs, but Skubal's fastball, as I mentioned, is just different. Beats him with it here. I wouldn't be surprised if he doubles up. And it's to the changeup. All right, get it down and away. Little too high, but does do the trick. He rolls it over, hits it really hard. 108 at 3 degrees. So it's funny. First at bat, he hits it weak, gets a hit. Second at bat, he smashes it, but it's on the ground and it's an out. So 1 for 2 through 2 at bats, and he's swung at all 4 pitches he's seen. So let's expect him to be aggressive this next at bat as well. Let's see if Skubal's anticipating that. First pitch fastball. Raleigh swings again, and this was probably the best pitch to hit yet. Down in. He can't believe he didn't hit that. But that fastball, it's the cutting action. Now this is something that Kershaw had for most of his career as well. He would just start righties with that fastball in, that four-seam fastball in, with a little bit of that cut action to it, or at least that boring effect. And guys are just like trying to beat him there, and they just can't quite get on it. That's what we're seeing here. So 0-1 count. Here comes another one. Up in target. Bad miss, and now to the changeup. Good take. A little bit of a weird target here, honestly. Looks like the catcher, I believe this is Rogers here. I mean, his body's off the plate away, so this pitch was pretty much destined to be a ball from the beginning. All right, 2-1. Now they're going to come back with a changeup. See, now the target's much more in the zone. And he executes it better and gets the swing through. I didn't understand that catcher targeting. Catcher targeting is so important, and this one makes a lot more sense. Executes this thing beautifully, 2-1. Triple up on changeup, which to me makes a lot of sense. Misses with it away, 3-2, and then he's going to come back with a four-seam. Where's he going to get it? Up in? Ooh, in off the plate. So this is another effect of the Cuddy type fastball. I mean, this ball is a strike for 58 feet, and it just eventually is out of the hitting area. You don't see a lot of shapes like that, so it's tough to lay off of it. And advantage Skubal here with a big punchy. So that's it for Cal Raleigh from the April game. It was an interesting 3 at-bats. Hit a ball weak, got a hit a ball hard, got out, and then kind of battled through that last at-bat and strikes out on the fastball in. All right, next at-bat between these two. Let's get it. Seattle and Detroit. And this one's going to be towards the very end of the game of the year. 7-11. Cal Raleigh, 2 for 5. All right, first at bat for Skubal. First pitch fastball. And a swing and miss. I mean, it's unbelievable how he's swung at all 4 first pitches now that he's seen. And he's come up empty on a bunch of pitches that he could probably hit. This ball's got a lot of the plate. Raleigh's under it. Now right to the changeup. Yep.
36 homers on the season. Most in baseball.
And gets that rollover. So another beautiful thing about throwing that changeup to perfection is not only swing and miss, but also rollover city for double plays. Skubal uses that. I mean, you can't execute better than this. Gets the big dumper to roll it over. Gets himself out of the inning with a 2-pitch at-bat. So domination there. And it looks like he's going to dominate him these last 2 at-bats as well. All right, starting with the slider here. This is the first time he's gone non-fastball or changeup first pitch. It's a slider, it's a take. It's also the first take, but I think it's mostly because it's non-competitive. Raleigh looks like he wants to bite here. All right, 1-0. And now to the changeup. Ooh, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. 1-1. Another changeup. I'd be sticking with changeups for sure. Yep, way out in front on that. Nowhere close. Throw it again. Nah, he's going to throw fastball. Oh my God, he just blows his torso off. Middle up, right down the middle. I mean, look at this. First of all, he would have been jammed if he hit it, but he's a day late and $1 short. What a fastball. Boom. Nasty, and a heck of a reaction. Love it. All right, third at bat. Also going to be a punch out. Going to start him with that slider again. So this is a little bit of a departure from the early stuff, but he falls behind again. So trying to be sneaky the last 2 at bats, and he's fall behind both times. Then he has to go right back into changeup mode. Changeup ball. 2-0. Oh, here comes a big challenge heater. Tried to beat him to the spot, but it was too high. So bad job there by Raleigh getting him back in the count. Another fastball. Man, he really can't touch him up in the zone from the right side. Blows him away. I'd probably stick with that. Nope, changeup. Really tough to guess with him between fastballs and changeups, I'll say that. And then just undresses Raleigh there. So, I mean, again, it's a simple game. It's a simple game, but it is unbelievably hard to figure it out at the plate because he can go either pitch in either moment, and they're both really hard to hit even if you know they're coming. You know, and this swing says it all. I mean, Cal Raleigh had a historic season, but look at this swing. And we'll see you later. All right, so that's it for Raleigh. That was the matchups on the year. I thought he got some pitches to hit. He had a good approach with the ambushes. He just could never get on plane with him. Very fascinating. Very fascinating to watch there. All right, George Springer is next. Toronto and Detroit. And Mr. George Springer. All right, first at bat. I'm going to start him with the fastball. And he gets to swinging. So, I mean, a lot of people with the similar approach, they know Skubal's got a low walk rate. They know he's got a really high first pitch strike rate, and they want to swing. But that has been really working in Skubal's favor. For the most part, these ambushes have come up empty. First pitch fastball miss. Second pitch backdoor slider. This is probably the best backdoor slider I've seen him throw yet. Perfect pitch and probably right to the changeup. Nope, fastball. Jams the piss out of him. Blows him up for an easy 3 unassisted by Mr. Torkelson, and that's it for Springer. The first at-bat. Second at-bat. Now he's going to start him with the changeup. George hasn't seen one yet. I love the changeup to George here, though. Yeah, nowhere near that. I'm sticking with it. It's changeup, 0-2. Here comes another changeup. George is like, I don't like this pitch. Good take that time. And now to the slider for backdoor. And he gets him. This was a good pitch call. Based off of this take right here, this is the changeup take on 0-2. How comfortably Springer took this pitch away. You know, out of the hand away, even though it's low, that's a pretty comfortable take. I think they see that, and then they say, okay, let's start something away and run it back to the corner. And the beautiful thing when you throw sometimes a slider to an opposite-handed hitter and it gets to this up and away quadrant here, is you get a swing under, and that's exactly what happens here. He kind of hesitates, realizes this ball is going to be in the zone, and he gets under it, scoops under it, and strikes out. So good utilization of the previous miss to inform the next pitch choice, and then really good execution of an unorthodox pitch, but a very effective pitch to get Springer out there. So that's 2 at-bats, and here's the last at-bat where he's actually going to get a hit. So let's see how that happens. First pitch, changeup for a take. George looking very uncomfortable on changeup. Fastball away for a swing and miss, 0-2. How's he going to get a hit? He looks like he's overmatched. All right, changeup again. Doesn't execute it, spikes it, and then probably tries to fix it. Yep, changeup again. And a little reach and poke, a la Buxton's hit that we watched earlier. A little reach and poke. And you got to give credit to Springer, you know? It's a good pitch. It's off the plate away. Most guys are out on this. But he gets just enough wood on it to flip it out there and get a hit. So nice job by him. I thought Skubal was overmatching him for the most part. But you know what? He didn't feel that way. He fought, and he got a knock. All right, that's it for Springer. Who's after Springer? Schwarber. So only 3 batters left. Schwarber, Ohtani, and Judge, because we have no Soto. All right, let's see when Schwarber hit. Schwarber was way down here on 8:02. All right, first at bat, 3-pitch punchy. First pitch slider, dotted, nice pitch. Second pitch sinker in. This is the weapon he uses versus lefties. It's deadly. Ooh, sinker away for the comeback strike. I love that. 0-2 off 2 takes. Now elevate him on the 4. Man, just a beautiful sequence. Let's just watch that without me talking. First pitch slider, perfect. Second pitch, backdoor sinker, perfect. Third pitch, chase, 4-seam with cut to it, perfect. And that's how you undress the National League runner-up and MVP. All right, second at bat, he's going to punch him again. First pitch, sinker. Happy accident to up in. Good healthy hack by Schwarber, but this ball's running in hard on him and beats him pretty good, and he fouls it right into the mask of the umpire. Oh, man. That rang his bell pretty good. 0-1 count. Change up off of that, which I like. If you get him into swing pull mode, change up's good. Great take by Kyle there. Change up again. Great take again. 4-seam, this should be a challenge pitch. And it sure is. Now, I do like the fact that he started him with the sinker early, because then the 4-seam, that protects the 4-seam shape later. So when he goes to the challenge heater here, 2-1, you know, it's still tough to hit. He is under it. And he fouls it off. That was a good pitch to hit. And now he's going to go back to the 4-seam, probably get it up here. Yeah, there's the target, and there's the swing and miss. So sometimes, you know, I've talked about this a lot, but if you just live up the whole time, guys will adjust to that. But if you get them to get a little swing action down here, and then they are anticipating kind of what that swing needs to look like, then that ball up, they can't adjust that fast, and that's what happens here. He elevates, and it's just overwhelming for Kyle. He can't decide, and he punches out. So he punches him out each of the first 2 at-bats, and then he gets 1 more at-bat here. First pitch slider. Not close. And then fastball. This is a challenge heater with the tying run at the plate. But he gets him to swing at a borderline pitch away. Probably not what Kyle wanted to swing at. This is the beauty of the cutty fastball shape. Also, heck of a play by Riley Green. But, you know, out of the hand, if he's thinking this is a sinker, Kyle's probably thinking this is a great pitch to hit middle, but instead it just continues off the plate away and ends up swinging at a pitch he doesn't want to swing at. So it's another beauty of Skubal, you know. Weird works, weird shape, weird delivery, weird contrasts. These all work, and these are all working in his favor even when he's not perfectly executing. But for the most part, I thought he pitched phenomenal on that sequence of at-bats versus Schwarbs. All right, last 2 batters. First, it is Mr. Shohei Ohtani. He is not the final boss in this one. The final boss is Judge. So Ohtani faced him on 327. And that's it. Very, very beginning of the year. So let's check that out. Dodgers, Tigers, 327. And we are looking for Mr. Ohtani. All right, it's going to be a first pitch swing on a fastball to start the season. and he rolls it over. So, yeah, Shohei's trying to go bridge first pitch. Skubal's trying to throw strike first pitch. This is a matchup of the NL MVP versus the AL Cy Young. We just don't know it yet. And you know what? Shohei just misses it. Good pitch to hit. Comes in out and over it, and it's a rollover, 1 pitch out. All right, second at bat. Going to start him with the changeup. Dodgers leading 1-0 at this point. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch changeup taken all the way for a strike. Second pitch changeup coming. Spikes it in the dirt. Now comes the fastball away. I would expect them to work Shohei mostly away. Up out of the zone, non-competitive. Here's a sinker. Backdoor attempt. Gets it to the happy accident spot. This is what he did to Schwarber as well. So here, you know, they're trying. I mentioned this a lot with other guys when they try to do backdoor sinkers. So he's trying to throw the ball here, but he's saying he's okay to miss anywhere in the zone. And this is an ideal miss. And that's where he gets it. And jams him for the 1-2. Probably breaking ball here. Yep, slider. Got to get it away, though. He just doesn't get it away enough. And Shohei hits it pretty hard. 109 under Glaber's glove for a hit. So good at bat by Shohei. Poor execution there by Skubal. And that's all it takes is one tiny poor execution and Shohei will be on you. All right, they get one more at bat. And start him with the sinker here. This time the target looks like it's in. Oh, trying to do a timed pick play there. So ball 1. Now sinker away. Ball 2. All right, 2-0 changeup. Really good 2-0 changeup left on left. Not a lot of people throw pitches like this, and you can see Shohei's reaction. This is a heck of a pitch. All right, sinker coming in here. Oof, dangerous pitch, but it works. Shohei gets a little beat here and pulls off of it. Man, that was dangerous. A little bit more over the plate. This ball's crushed. All right, 2-2. Sinker again, this time way up and in target. Great pitch, beats him. So the left-on-left sinker in seems to be a very good pitch for Shohei, especially from Skubal, and this is great execution. You see the target, they're trying to jam him, and that's exactly what they do. Pretty sure that's a broken bat, 77.6, and an easy roll over. So that's it. 1 for 3. Chewed him up with some sinkers. Try to pitch him away otherwise. It was just a good battle. Great left-on-left battle there. And looks like Shohei was happy to get him out because he homers off Hanafi later in the game. All right, last man on the list, unless there's more at-bats for Shohei, which there isn't, is the one and only Aaron Judge. He's the final boss of the season for Skubal, so let's go get into that. He faced him one time. It was on 4/08 very early in the year, so let's do that right now. Yankees and Tigers on 4/08. And the big Aaron Judge. All right, first at bat, he's going to punch him out. First pitch changeup. I might have even appeared in this baseball game. Changeup for a ball. Here comes a slider outside for a ball. So 2-0, not a good place to beat a Judge. Let's see how he gets back in the count. Backdoor slider. Not looking for that. Changeup. Perfect changeup, swings over the top, and then another changeup. The changeup's really the magic pitch. I mean, the other pitches are great. The changeup is what makes him Cy Young, in my mind. Best hitters in the world are nowhere close to this pitch, and he can throw it in any count to anybody. Righties, lefties, either side of the plate, doesn't matter. He's got it on a string like a yo-yo. It's unbelievable. So, beautiful changeup there, punches him out. All right, next at bat. Going to start him with a slider. So I didn't throw him really any fastballs that first at bat. Slider, ball, changeup coming here. Good take. Slider again. So he's fallen behind Judge twice, 2-0. And he's gotten back into the count twice with sliders. Both backdoor. This one was perfectly placed. I love this pitch right here. Judge definitely still looking for something middle in, I think. All right, here it comes. Four seam. Here comes that middle in. Ooh. Great pitch to hit, but he misses it. 2-2. Four seam coming. Another great pitch to hit, but he's under it. It just shows you the quality of the heater. Judge deposits these balls in the seats with regularity, and he's just under this one. All right, changeup coming again. Just gets him out front enough, pops him up. Once again, the changeup dominates, gets Judge off the end for another out, and this is going to be the last at bat, and it's going to be a Judge hit. So let's see how he does it. First pitch slider, fouled off. Second pitch four seam. So now Judge trying to be a little more aggressive here in this third at bat. Stands him up with the four seam. Great pitch there. Probably changeup. Nope, another four seam. I think changeup gets him out. I mentioned the four seam. He's been on that timing the whole game, and this is another underrated thing about Judge is that he can stay inside a ball and bloop a ball too. You know, this ball beats him, but look how he keeps the hands tucked and just gets it in play. Floats it into right for a hit. So another guy that kind of felt overmatched at times, but did find a way to get himself on base one time. Judge goes 1 for 3 and ultimately does a nice job. 1 for 3 versus Skubal. So that is it for our at-bats to watch. I'm curious to group all these together and just get a sense really quick of what the totals were in these matchups. So out of all these matchups, he only allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits, though. 10 hits is a lot to this group. That's pretty good. He did strike out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 strikeouts, 2 walks aggregated to this group. Let me see if I can get these all. Oh, I just screwed that up. Anyway, so 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, did allow 10 hits, but no extra base hits, no homers, didn't hit anybody. I actually think these guys battled him really well, but this is about as good as you could hope to do versus Tarik Skubal. So this was a cool exercise to watch the best versus the best. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, see the game with Skubal. A lot of fastballs, a lot of changeups, trying to mix it up otherwise, but for the most part, it's pretty much daring you to hit it. And it's a pleasure to watch somebody with that style. He's going to go for his 3rd Cy Young in a row this next year. He's got plenty of up-and-coming competitors, Crochet, etc. So it's going to be interesting to watch. But I think he can do it. You know, if he continues to pound the zone, continues to use what he's got, and I don't think anybody's going to figure out that changeup anytime soon. So I would put my money on him again to win 3 in a row, which would be pretty legendary. All right, this has been a fun video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, set your notifications if you want to get more of these videos, and thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys on the live stream and on the next watching video. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.